and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have noticed many times that students have problems and difficulties in understanding the concepts of delegation and decentralization. They're not able to differentiate between the two. So students, our today's topic is differentiation between delegation and decentralization. Let us start with delegation. To begin the topic, let's take an example that I am your teacher and you're my student. That means there exists a superior subordinate relationship. I am your superior, your teacher, and you are my subordinate, my student. Now students, I am very overburdened because I have a lot of works to do. So in order to relieve myself, I am giving some of my works to you. Let us assume that I have given you my register work to do. You're very happy to do that because you're learning new skills. When you're doing my work, you're learning new skills. So you are ready to take that work. But in order to relieve myself of overburden, I am sharing my work with you, right? You are also happy to do the work because you are learning new skills. But did I take permission from the higher authorities to give you my work? No, I have not taken permission from higher authorities. So here I have talked about two things. Number one, I am overburdened. The superior is overburdened. That is why the superior is sharing the work with the subordinate. Number one. Number two, no permission has been taken from the higher authorities. Done? Okay. Now let us assume that by mistake you have done something wrong in the register work. Now, who will be held responsible for that mistake that has been committed? Obviously, it will be the superior, it will be the teacher who is responsible for the mistake because it was not subordinate's work, it was not your work. Whose work was it? It was superior's work. So, who is responsible? Superior is responsible. Superior has just shared the work with the subordinate without the consent of the higher authorities because the superior was feeling overburdened. Therefore, superior will be held responsible for anything done in that work, any mistake done in that work. This is called delegation of work, when a superior shares his work with the subordinate in order to relieve himself from overburden without the consent of higher authorities. It is delegation. Now here three important things have been talked about. Number one, the superior feels overburdened, therefore he shares the work with the subordinate to relieve himself, right? Number two, there is no permission or consent which is taken from the higher authorities. Number three, superior will always be held responsible for the work that has been assigned to him. Subordinate has no accountability. Superior will be held responsible. This is delegation. Now, what is the benefit of delegation? See, for superior, the benefit is that superior is overburdened, so the superior is sharing the work. As a result, the superior can concentrate on high priority tasks. Superior can concentrate on high priority tasks. Now, how is subordinate benefited from this delegation? Subordinate is benefited because the subordinate is getting the advantage of knowing new skills, opportunity to develop himself, as well as he is getting motivated and encouraged to do the work in a better way. Therefore, it is beneficial for both subordinate as well as superior. Next is decentralization. Decentralization refers to even and systematic flow of authority or power from top level to lower level, from higher to lower levels. Now students, in this case, there is systematic distribution of power. That means every person in the organization knows what your responsibility is. You have been assigned your responsibility, your authority, your powers have been given to you. Okay, that means you will be responsible for your tasks. Your superior will not be responsible. Whatever you are doing, you will be held responsible for that. A superior in this case is not sharing his work to relieve himself because he is overburdened. He is giving you the powers with the consent of higher authorities. Okay, you have been given the power to do a particular work with the consent of higher authorities, and that is your job. So you will be held accountable for that. So number one, it is the decision of the top level. It is with the consent of the top level that the power or authority has been given to the subordinate. Number two, it enhances the role of the subordinates because they get more power, they get more autonomy to work. As the organization grows in size, it is very important to decentralize itself, not delegate, decentralize, because certain amount of authority should be given to the subordinates so that the top level management or the superiors can concentrate on high level tasks, priority tasks, strategic planning, etc. So students, in case of delegation, it is the superior who is feeling overburdened. So in order to relieve himself, he is sharing the work with his subordinate, with his immediate subordinate. Okay, in this case, immediate subordinate must be taken into consideration, that with his immediate subordinate, he is sharing the work, but he will be, the superior will be held responsible for that work. Okay, no responsibility, no accountability will be with the subordinate. In case of decentralization, with the consent of top management, with the consent of higher authorities, powers are given to the subordinates. So they are held responsible for their acts. Okay, and with the help of both of them, the higher authorities can concentrate on the strategic tasks, the important tasks of the organization. Now let's quickly understand the difference between the two with the help of this table.
This table shows the difference between delegation and decentralization. Always remember that whenever a question on differentiation comes, you have to write bases. Without bases, marks get deducted. Okay, so in this case, the very first basis is meaning. We all know the meaning of delegation and decentralization. As already discussed, delegation refers to the process of sharing of responsibility and authority between a manager and his immediate subordinate, between a superior and subordinate. It is mere sharing of responsibility. In case of decentralization, it is even and systematic distribution of authority at every level of management. At every level, even and systematic distribution of authority. Authority means power. Power is distributed at every level of management. That means everybody, every person gets the authority. Delegation is based on the principle of division of work, that work should be divided. This comes under the status category. Okay. And in case of decentralization, there is no principle which is followed. It is just the result of policy making by top level. When top level makes the policy, then decentralization takes place. Next is scope. Scope. Whenever we talk about scope, we talk about whether it is narrow in scope or wider in scope. See, delegation is between superior and his immediate subordinate. That means it is narrow in scope, whereas decentralization is much beyond that. It is extension of delegation. It is wider in scope because it is not between superior and his immediate subordinate. It is between top level management and the lower level management. All the management levels are involved in this. So it is wider in scope and delegation is narrower in scope. See, in case of delegation, we know that control is in the hands of superior. That means less freedom is given to the subordinates to act according to their wish. Subordinates cannot act according to their wish. They have to act, they have to work as per instructions given by their immediate superiors. Okay, they have less freedom. But when it comes to decentralization, subordinates are given power, subordinates are given authority to take their own decisions. So there is more freedom in case of decentralization. Now, what is the purpose of delegation? Why is delegation done? In order to reduce the workload of manager. And why is decentralization done? So as to enhance the role of the subordinates. Subordinates are given more autonomy to perform their work. Now students, delegation is a necessary act. It has to be done because one person cannot perform all the activities on his own. He needs some helping hand. So as a result, delegation takes place. So delegation is basically a necessary act, because out of overburdenedness, every individual delegates his or her work. When it comes to decentralization, decentralization is not a necessary act. It is total optional policy decision. That means it is under the consent of the top level management to decentralize or not to decentralize, because decentralization means authority has to be provided, authority has to be given, powers has to be given to the to all the levels of the management. Now we all know that in case of delegation, authority is retained by top level, authority is retained by the superior. But in case of decentralization, authority is systematically distributed at every level. Next is accountability. Students, we know, we have already studied that in case of delegation, superior is held responsible, superior is held accountable for the job, right? But in case of decentralization, since subordinates are also given powers, subordinates are also given authority by the top level management, therefore subordinates are held responsible for their job. This can be understood with the help of an example. Students, in case of delegation, let's take an example that a chief accountant can delegate his duty to make balance sheet to one of his subordinates. Okay, that means if there is a chief accountant, it is his responsibility to make the balance sheet of the company. But in order to reduce his workload, he is sharing this work with his subordinates. Now this is the case of delegation, because he is sharing out of being overburdened and to give some level of motivation, encouragement and new knowledge, new skills to his subordinates. However, if the balance sheet turns out to be not as per the format, then the ultimate responsibility and accountability will be held by the chief accountant. Now in case of decentralization, let us assume that there is a general manager and he shares his task of recruiting people with human resource manager. In this case, see, there is a word used, shares his task. Whenever this word is used, it should not be confused that sharing of task only comes under delegation. No. Who is sharing the task? It is a general manager. General manager comes under which level of management? General manager comes under top level management. Okay. When he is sharing his task with human resource manager comes under middle level management. That means he is not his immediate subordinate with whom he is sharing the task. He is at a lower level. He is at a level which is lower to him. That means that it is decentralization because it is a policy decision of top level. This should be kept in mind that if general manager or a person of top level is sharing his task with middle level or lower level, then it is a case of decentralization and not delegation, though the word sharing has been used.